back, everybody. This is going to be a really interesting and fun exploration into the acoustic side of Jimmy Page and Led Zeppelin, and hopefully clarify actually some pronunciation of the song as well, because I have evidence of what the correct pronunciation of this song is. So we're going to dive into that. Hey, thanks for watching. If you like what you're seeing here, love for you to click like and let me know in the comments. And if you haven't done so already, please go down and subscribe and ring the bell, and it'll let you know whenever I'm releasing new lesson content, which I do every single week. All right. So the name of the song is pronounced, apparently, Bron-Yr-Aur. So, and as evidence for that, here is a link to this song being played live by Led Zeppelin years before it was released on the Physical Graffiti album. I think the date on this show supposedly is 1970, and this song didn't come out, at least on record formally, from Led Zeppelin until 1974 or 5, whenever Physical Graffiti was released. But it sounds like it may have been recorded earlier, and it's with a whole bunch of songs that they did and put together, I think, when they were putting together the Led Zeppelin 3 album, which was in that 1970 time frame. So it makes sense that they were playing this song live. It was, you know, in their brain or in Jimmy's brains, and he was knocking it around. But anyway, let's get to some of the more interesting parts of this song. So number one, you got to tune your guitar to something I've never seen before. So the way your guitar tuning is going to go, you're going to have a low C. You're going to leave your A string alone. You're going to tune your D string down to a C. You're going to leave your G string alone. You're going to tune your B string up to a C. And you're going to leave your E string alone. So what this does is when you fret the 5th string at 3, which is a C note, playing the rest of the strings gives you a C chord, because you've got a very Celtic sounding C. So you've got C, when you fret it here, you got C, 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 G, C, E. So you've got your root, you got your 5th, and you've got your major 3rd with the E on top. Anyway, so it makes for some very interesting chord formations, and I have no idea how to explain the chords or name them. So what I'm going to do over here over my shoulder is you'll see the chord formations for all of it, all the way throughout. I'm not going to even attempt to put a name to name those chords, because I don't know. It's vaguely C, vaguely G, vaguely A minor, you know, whatever. You'll see it on there. Okay, but that's your tuning. All right. So the song opens with him just jamming on a finger pick on a C chord, and the volume raises up, you know, as a sort of a fade in. But the way he's doing that is he's sliding into that C note, and you've got a finger pick pattern going on. Now, it's really tough for me to explain this when I slow it down. I'm probably going to be playing it too fast if you're learning this for the first time. I'm not going to be able to slow it down, I think, to the speed maybe that you want. So just use the YouTube controls down here on the screen. If you're on your PC, you know, click the little gear settings. It'll flip up, and you'll see a playback speed, and you can pull that down to the desired speed that you want. Usually 0.75 works really well. Sometimes 0.5, it starts getting a little wonky there, but at least you can pick out sort of the speed of the notes and the finger picking. Anyway, so first chord is that just C. So you're fretted at the third note on 5, and your finger picking goes like this. So it's vaguely Travis picking, where you're sort of, your thumb is doing like a 5, 4, 6, 4, but I don't think it does it that every single time. But that's how you're getting into the song. And I sort of oscillate between hammering on or sliding in. Now here's your first chord position. Now listening really closely, you could go 2 different ways. I think technically the correct way, I think, is this shape here, where it looks sort of like an E minor 6, but I know that's not what the chord is with these notes. But this. But you can also just play it as a 2-finger, where you have that 4th string open. I think it works either way, but I tend to play it that way. But I think there's a good argument that this is actually the chord that you want. I'm not quite good enough to nail that every single time, so I think I sort of oscillate and go back to that one. Anyway, so that's the first chord. And back to your C. The next one is you're sliding up to this position. Do that again, I got that a little wrong. Again. So slow that down as you're learning it. But if we just stick with those 2, I'm going to repeat those. So you got your C, you're going to go down a fret, back to your C, and you're going to go up 2 frets to that next position, and then back to your C. So that repeated sounds like. Okay. Now this next part for me was the most difficult part of the whole song. He has sort of a stumbling, what sounds sort of like a stumbling, maybe he's doing it on purpose, with his thumb on what's happening on the bass strings. So I struggled with this for a long time, and I'll share with you sort of what was the breakthrough point for me as I'm doing it. And actually first, let me play it through. See? So what was the breakthrough for me when I was struggling through that is, instead of trying to listen to all of them and picking them all out, you can split it between listen to the bass string and then listen to the melody side, the higher pitch strings. And kind of what's happening on the lower strings is there's this sort of movement going on. Well, this is what it is simplified. This isn't exactly what he plays, but this is what it's simplified. He picks it more times than that, but that's the sort of main movement that's going on. Okay. The melody is doing this. So when you take your finger picking pattern, what really nailed it for me is concentrate on the melody part of the strings. Concentrate on getting that piece. Those are all open notes, okay? And it seemed to fall into place when I tried to layer in the alternate picking, the thumb picking. Because the thumb goes, that's the full, what it does. Right? And your melody is going. So again. So slow that down. It's really tough for me to talk that through. But that's what's happening on the bass notes. Kind of end with that little DG, or fourth, third string. When you pull real hard on those melody strings, it seems to pull the rest of it in place. This may not make sense to you right now, but struggle through it. That will be probably the most difficult part of this song for you to nail, is that piece. Okay? So then it goes back to your C. Now we've got this figure that's going to be what sounds vaguely like a C, B to A minor, but it's not exactly those chords, but it's this part. So that shape is your C, and your second chord based off of your B note, which again could be this one or this one. It goes by fast enough, either one will sound great. And then you're going to slide, you can hear them sort of slide up 2 frets. But you're going to make sort of an A shape chord on the 4th fret. That's what you end on. So I switched my index finger when I do that. A lot of people do your ring finger on there. Either one will work. There's an argument to do your ring finger because of what's coming next. Yeah, so here it goes. So now you're going to go to the 4 and the 5 version. So if this is in C, that would be an F and a G. So this, what you can do is a couple different ways. You're going to make a again, you're going to slide that A shape up, and this is where it was handy if you landed using your ring finger, because you're going to just slide it up 1 fret to your 5th fret, and you're going to ring finger or index finger, ring finger on the bass string on the 6th string on the 5th fret. So it's this kind of a chord. Up to 7. Off to the C. You can be fairly aggressive with that. As Jimmy was. Okay, and following that, then you go back to the top. Right? So you got your 4 to your 5. Then back to your B chord. The hard one. down. Run through that. And the way, so you're going to run through that 4 to 5 again, and now you're coming up to the outro. So after that last repeat at the 7th fret, you're going to come back down to your A shape on the 4th fret. Pick up that last because you're going to transition now to the outro. And the outro is surprisingly simple in terms of the chord fingerings. But you'll slide over, and this is your first chord position. And you're going to pick 5, 4, 3, 2. Slide your fingers over 1 fret, same position. 4, 3, 2, 1. So you went 5, 4, 3, 2. Now you're doing 4, 3, 2, 1. And then you're going to end with this position, 3rd and 2nd string on your 5th fret, and you're going to pick 4, 3, 2, 1. And you're going to now do that twice, and then you add on, you're going to alternate the 7th fret on the D string, open, 7th, and then you're going to have a big chord at the end. Do it however you like. You're going to have a great big C strum. I go up and down. I think on the record they've got a big reverse sort of reverb thing going on that's mixed throughout the whole song, which makes it sound pretty damn cool. But all right, let me take you out just to see how that all fits in context. We'll go from the 4 to the 5 part, then to the outro. Here we go. That's Bron-Yr-Aur, and thanks for going on that journey with me. This was one that gave me a lot of trouble for many, many years. If you try and play this in standard tuning, you're going to frustrate yourself. So again, reset that tuning and just woodshed it. Nothing is gonna get that other than endless repetition. But boy, when you get there, it's super rewarding. It's not a song that you hear a lot of people play very well, and when you work through that and nail it, it's gonna feel really good. Okay, so did you learn something new today? Hope you did. Let me know in the comments if you did. If you did like it, click like, and if you haven't done so already and you like what you're seeing, click subscribe and ring the bell, and it'll let you know when I'm dropping new content, which I do every single week. And let me know in the comments if there's a song you'd like me to take on and do an in-depth lesson like this. I'd love to do one that I don't know very well. And I'm looking for ideas all the time. Leave it in the comments or drop me an email. And yeah, okay, so until next week, take care, everybody.